the Philadelphia Eagles have finally done the inevitable. They have pulled the rug out from underneath Carson Wentz. You might have heard about this, maybe not. Perhaps you missed it. So Jalen Hurts, the rookie, he's a rookie. Jalen Hurts, who played at Alabama and Oklahoma, he is going to start for the Eagles this weekend. Sunday night against the New Orleans Saints. The former number 2 pick, Carson Wentz, heads to the bench. Now, we have some reaction. Doug Pederson, who's fighting the good fight, he thinks, as coach in Philadelphia. Here's Doug Pederson, who claimed the decision was made to bench Carson Wentz because he is looking for a spark.
We're not where we want to be as an offense. We know that. And you guys have heard me say this a lot around here in the 5 years that I've been here, and it's never about one person. And, we won a championship a couple years ago with a group of men, and it's never about one guy. And, so I looked at the whole thing and decided that for this week and to look for that spark again, to try to get the team over the hump, to try to get everybody playing better, right? And obviously the quarterback position is included there. So that's really the decision that I came to, moving forward this week.
All right, so he made sure to say he made the decision. That was highlighted by Doug Pederson, looking to get a spark, get the team over the hump. Blah, blah, blah. Keep in mind, a couple weeks ago, after the Cleveland game, Doug Pederson was offended by the very thought of benching Carson Wentz, and he said, by making that move, you're raising the white flag. I'm paraphrasing. Everybody essentially said the season's over in Philadelphia. Apparently, he's decided the season is over. Carson Wentz deserves to be benched. He does. He's been a total zero this season, and he's fallen in every possible way, every conceivable way to guide as the caretaker of the Eagles offense. And Philadelphia's season has come tumbling down. They are 3-8-1. They are a 1.5 game deficit behind the Giants and also Washington in the NFC East. Just 4 games left. 4 games left to pull a rabbit out of the hat. Spoiler alert, it's not going to happen. All right, so let us discuss. Now, the question, did the Eagles make the right call in benching Carson Wentz for Jalen Hurts? They did with a qualifier. They should have done it earlier. This is a move made too late, right? You have closed the barn door after the horse has bolted off into the prairie. Bad job by you. Doug Pederson, let's call it like it is. He botched this, the Eagles coach. Now, we had advised him, free of charge, free advice in the overnight. We had advised Doug Pederson to bench Carson Wentz a month ago. All right, back in week 10, we said, go to the young whippersnapper. Did they listen? No. Did they pay attention? No. It fell on deaf ears. Bad job by them. Carson Wentz's performance deserves a trip to the penalty box, and that's what Wentz is getting. He's now going into timeout. He's got detention. And instead of doing it when they should have done it, where you still had a shot, the Eagles coach dragged his feet, and he made all kinds of excuses for Carson Wentz. It's not his fault. Give him time. So there's a word my grandfather used to speak when I was a kid out of the Yiddish dialect, and it's called krutzing ois, which is a way of saying just not being in a hurry. You're a slowpoke. Now, Doug Pederson has spoken double talk to avoid the Komodo dragon in the room. Ownership had to meddle to twist the coach's arm. You know there were tentacles that go all the way up to the ownership ranks that were like, hey, you got to make a change here. And it's that procrastination that is the backbreaking move. The Eagles have lost 4 straight games. Carson Wentz has thrown down bags of garbage. Last 4 weeks, Carson Wentz, 4 touchdowns in the last 4 games, 3 interceptions, a passer rating of 72. He's been sacked 18 times over the last 4 games. And he's averaging 5.5 yards per attempt. Die, Diarrhea. That's Carson Wentz. Now, the second thing, let's address Jalen Hurts. I am going to go full deep state conspiracy guy on the radio. I'm about to do that. Now, Jalen Hurts, he hasn't had a trial run yet. This is going to be his opportunity, his first audition as the Eagles quarterback. He has played some this year, but he's been a decoy. He's been the, hey, let's bring him in just to keep the defense honest guy. He's attempted a grand total, Carson Wentz's new replacement here, Jalen Hurts, has attempted 15 passes. 15 passes. 12 of those came when he played in mop-up duty at Lambeau Field when the Eagles lost to the Packers this past weekend. And now Hurts slides on into the center square for Philadelphia. At first glance, this ostensibly is a great opportunity, if that's the way it's being reported by the football establishment media. But upon further review, I believe that Jalen Hurts is being set up to fail. Now, I have preached for years that trial by fire, sink or swim. I'm that guy. But the timing on this is strategic. So let me give you my elevator pitch on why Jalen Hurts is being set up to fail. And then tell me if I'm crazy. So my theory is that Doug Pederson strategically has now stacked the deck against Jalen Hurts. He was tired of being poked and prodded by people above him in ownership, and also the media in Philadelphia has been calling for Carson Wentz to be benched. And so he finally got fed up. Doug Pederson's like, okay, you want this guy to play? We'll play him. But I'm going to do it on my terms. And so he's doing it his way. And really using Jalen Hurts as an example, because he's throwing him out against the New Orleans defense. The last 3 weeks, the Saints have the stingiest defense in the NFL. And statistically, they're a top 5 defense in pretty much every category. We saw what they did against the candy salesman a couple weeks ago from the Broncos. Nevertheless, if Jalen Hurts gets the opportunity, he's got to take advantage of it. But is he being set up to fail? He's got the skill set to succeed, but this is not an advantageous beginning to his career. Now, if he does do well, that would add to the legend of Jalen Hurts. But the reason you believe there's something going on here is because Doug Pederson has been peppered with questions over the last couple of months, and now he's going to get the last laugh, at least in his head. Jalen Hurts goes out there, poops the bed. It's like tossing blubber into a polar bear cage. And it would have been much different if it had been a soft launch. When you start a restaurant, you don't announce the exact date you're opening up. You have a dry run, right? You open up a couple days before you're scheduled to open, so the kitchen staff kind of gets the feel of the place. Back when restaurants were open everywhere before 2020, and everyone had to kind of go through, and you'd have to, the serving staff, everyone would have to know their role and have to go through it. And you didn't want to do it when the place was crazy, so you did it with a limited customer base. Now, in this case, the Eagles had that opportunity. If Jalen Hurts had started against the Giants or the Seahawks defense, the chances were better. There was more of a bigger probability that he would have been successful. Now, it's not impossible to have success against the Saints defense. It is just much more difficult. The degree of difficulty has gone up. Now, final point. The craziest part of this story is that even if Jalen Hurts goes out and throws for 5 touchdowns and runs for 100 yards and throws for 350, his days as the Eagles starting quarterback are short-lived. Why? Carson Wentz is the ultimate white elephant of the NFL, right? He is, Carson Wentz, the booby prize. He leads the NFL in interceptions. He's 30th among all qualified quarterbacks in passer rating. He has been reckless, and the Eagle franchise was reckless when they handed out a massive contract extension. They had no choice. They had to pay him. 18 months ago, the Eagles signed Carson Wentz to a 4-year, $128 million contract extension. Almost $70 million Guarantee. And the part of the story here, which is just wonderful, you know what it is? That $128 million contract extension, $70 million guaranteed, has not even started. The clock has not even started. The new contract begins in 2021. Carson Wentz is still on his rookie contract. That is, in politics, they call it pork barrel spending, right? That's pork barrel spending, and now it's coming home to roost in the nest of the Eagles. And keep in mind that was the sixth most guaranteed money in the history of pro football. And the guy just got benched before the contract even started. This makes that terrible contract the Rams gave Todd Gurley look like nothing. And Carson Wentz, when you look at the contract numbers, he is like a tenured professor. He's not going anywhere. He's not going. They can't get rid of him. They can't trade him. They can't release him. In 2021, Carson Wentz will count for $35 million against the Eagles' salary cap. And keep in mind, the salary cap's likely to go down because revenues have gone down. We're not allowed to go to games. Fans are not allowed to go to games. So because of the COVID pandemic, the revenues will not be where they were, and so they're going to have to lower the salary cap, which will even more it's a screw job for the Eagles. Now, if they were to release him, you say, well, just get rid of him. That would cost the team $59 million in dead cap money. I know the salary cap is malleable. You can move some things around, but even that is a bridge too far. And then in 2022, for Carson Wentz, the dead cap penalty goes down. There's a lot of numbers here, but it goes down to around $24 million. So if Carson Wentz, stay with me, if Carson Wentz were to be released, the Eagles would not be able to field a competitive team, which, of course, you could make the argument they can't field a competitive team now, so what's the difference? But the first year the Eagles could reasonably let go Carson Wentz is 2023. 2020, which means for the next couple of years, he can sit there and eat bonbons and become a big fat ass. It doesn't matter. He's got his money. That's it. You know, even then, it's still a huge amount of money that Carson Wentz would have to go through. So that's it in a nutshell. You've got the Jalen Hurts conspiracy, if you will, that this is Doug Pederson's way to get back at ownership and say, screw you. You want me to play the guy? All right, I'm going to wait until we go against the toughest defense we had left on the schedule when you guys started pestering me, and I'm going to throw this guy in there and see how you like it.